What's up, guys? Dustin Heiner here with Master Passive Income. Now let's talk about hard money in your real estate investing. Hard money can be fantastic and is actually a fantastic way to grow your business. See, now, if you have plenty of money, it's really easy to buy properties. But if you don't and you need to use other people's money, OPM, I love that term, other people's money to buy properties, you might thinking that only going to a bank is the best way to go, or talking to your grandma and see if they can give you money. There are so many other ways, and one specifically that I personally think is a fantastic way is hard money. And I have an entire video on the 14 different ways that you can get financing, so check the description for that video. It's actually literally goes through everything that you need to do and all the different ways to get financing, because like I said, 14 different ways to get financing to buy a house. There's so many options out there, and I want to give you all of them. But specifically, let's really hit home on hard money. Now, when I first heard of hard money, I thought of something scary, something very, very scary, like, the mobster, the gangster that actually has money. They slip you the money under the table, and if you don't pay him, some guy named Jimmy the Wolf will come and break your kneecaps until you pay them. It's not like that. In fact, it's so literally not like that. It's basically a private money lender who lends out their own money, or maybe a few people to combine together, but they give out their or lend out their money, not like a bank or an institution like that, but it's private money is really what it comes down to, but it's more of a business. They really want their money transitioning over and over, making money from their money very, very quickly. Now, when you think of getting that money in and out very quickly of a property, hard money is a fantastic way to do that. For fix and flips, they are fantastic, but most people might be thinking, well, how would I do hard money for a single family home? And at the end of the video, I'm literally going to give you the tips that I give all of my coaching students, actually, I guess coaching you one-on-one, how you can make sure you're getting the best hard money for your rental properties, doing it right, preparing for the worst, and actually making it successful, making sure that you're buying the right properties, you're using hard money the right way, because I definitely don't want you to get into hard money and get stuck, because you absolutely can get stuck. So what is hard money then? Hard money is borrowing money from a private investor who really tries to turn their money over and over again very, very fast. Now, they can be like that's their entire business, or it can be just somebody who is a private investor that wants to do it. Now, your loans will be anywhere from 6 months to a year. At the very most I've ever seen is 2 years for a hard money loan. Now, you can always renegotiate as soon as you get to that, 6 months or 2 years. You can always renegotiate, ask them if they can, extend the loan or do something like that. But like I said, I'm going to give you some tips at the end of the video on how to make sure you're doing it right and you're not going to get stuck in hard money and have Jimmy the Wolf come and break your kneecaps. Actually, just kidding, that wouldn't happen. But I want to save you from that. So when you are buying a property and you're going to use hard money, the hard money lender is going to want a few things from you. Number one, your first kid. I'm just kidding. It's definitely not that. It's not that bad. I keep making it seem worse than it is, jokingly making it seem worse than it is. But here's what they're going to want. They're going to want points up front. They're going to want points, which means a percentage of the dollar value that they're borrowing is a fee. So, give you easy numbers. If they're going to be borrowing $100,000 from a hard money lender to buy a house, they're going to charge you 1 point. For example, they might charge you 2, 3, or 4 points, depending on your credit risk and all that sort of stuff, whatever their criteria is. But if they're charging you just 1 point, that's 1% of the $100,000. So 1% of $100,000 is $1,000. That's going to be the fee. That's not going to be interest or anything like that. That's the fee just to get the loan. Now, regular banks, actually, you pay those as well. You pay lender points or lender fees as well to get the loan, just to pay for the loan. So you're actually paying these when you get a mortgage. So it's not like it's a different fee or anything than what you would get in a normal mortgage. You're just going to most likely pay more. More than likely, it's going to be 2, 3, 4. I've even seen as high as 5 or 6 points on a hard money loan. But here's the thing. As long as we're accounting for this expense when we're buying our property, it's going to be just fine. And just think about it. If you have a property that's making you, let's say $800 in passive income, but you had to use hard money and you did it right, like I'm going to show you how to actually make sure you do it right so you don't get stuck in the hard money. If you do it right and you're able to get out of that property or get out of that hard money, get in that property, still making $800 a month, it doesn't matter how much you're paying because your tenants are paying it. You're making sure the numbers are working up right, which I'll get into in just a second. Now, on top of the points, there are other things you're going to have to be paying. Another one is interest rate. The interest rate could be as low as prime rate, whatever the regular rates are, but that hardly ever happens. Usually it's going to be like 7, 8, 10%, up to like 14%, depending on the lender, the hard money lender, and your risk as somebody who's going to be borrowing and having your credit checked and all that sort of stuff. They're going to make sure that you're going to be somebody they want to lend to. So you might get a high interest rate. You might get somewhat very competitive. What I've seen on average is about 8% right now, or maybe about 5 points above, or 5 percentage points above what is currently in the market for a regular conventional loan. So just figure that. But here's the thing. When you call up the private money lender, the hard money lender, they're actually going to tell you what they want. They're going to literally, this is what we invest, this is what we do, this is what we want. On top of that, what you're also going to be looking for are the terms. The terms of the hard money loan. Now, that could be something where you are a 6-month loan and they want you to pay them off as soon as the 6 month, or it could be a 1 year or 2 years. You can even negotiate extensions in there if you need them. You want to make sure that you talk about the terms, because hard money lenders, the way they make their money are basically coming from the points. They make their money by lending the money and getting points, or getting that percentage of that loan in their pocket. The interest, it's not really that much, because it's not like a 30-year loan. Even though it's like 14% or 10% or something that's really high in interest, it doesn't really translate to a lot of money to them. Where they make their money is in the points. Now, they do, don't get me wrong, make a lot of money in interest, but they really love turning that money over. The more times that they can lend that money, let's say, give you an example, you borrow $100,000, you pay 5 points, that's $5,000. But then they say, I want my money back in 3 months, or I want my money back in 6 months. Then they can take that same $100,000. They just made $5,000 off of you. They can take that same money and lend it to somebody else and make that $5,000 again on borrowing that money. So in 1 year, they could turn that $100,000 over twice, 3 times, 4 times. Let's say they did it 4 times. They made $20,000 by turning it over. So the faster they turn it over, the more money they make. That's why they want short loans. Interest is higher, but like I said, if you don't have that property because you didn't use hard money, then you're out that property. Now, with that hard money, you're going to make sure that you're going to get out of the hard money as fast as possible, because you don't want to get stuck with absorbent fees, because more than likely they're going to have lawyers that have drafted up these mortgage documents, information and stuff like that. They're going to have a lien against the property, just like everything a normal mortgage would have. And what they want is get their money back out. What you want is make sure you refinance it as quick as possible. Get in and get out. Now, what you're going to be thinking about is, oh my goodness, I'm paying all this money to a hard money lender. But like I said, number one, if you don't have the deal because you don't have the money, then you don't have the deal. You're not making a passive income. On top of having the money to be able to buy the property, another great reason to have a hard money lender is because they look over your deal. They analyze the deal for you. So your hard money lenders analyze the deals for you to make sure that you're going to be making money, making sure that they're going to make their money, because if you're not making money, they're not going to make money. They don't want that. So if your deal is not looking good, they're going to tell you, hey, we don't like lending on these deals because we've done it in the past and this is what's happened. We've lost money. The borrower lost money. We had to take back the property. We don't like doing that. So if you're going to buy a property, make sure it has this, this, and this. So they absolutely are investors. They know what good deals look like, and they're going to help you to make sure you're buying the right deals and not buying the wrong deals. So that's what I also love about hard money lenders. They've done it so much before. It's like having an expert in your back pocket literally telling you, hey, this is a good deal. When you get a mortgage, your mortgage broker is not going to make sure that you're making passive income, that you're buying the right property, that you built the business first, that you have a property manager, you can rent it out. They're not going to check any of that stuff. Hard money lenders are basically like me, investors who've been doing it for a very, very long time. We still invest our own money, but at the same time, we have plenty of money that we can then lend to other people, have our money work for us. So your goal as an investor is to eventually become a hard money lender where you're lending out your money, making money on those points. Now, I absolutely think you can absolutely do this. Now, let me give you the steps to actually getting a hard money. Number one, finding the right hard money lender. You need to find the right hard money lender. And when you're interviewing all these hard money lenders, which I suggest you should interview quite a few hard money lenders, because each one is going to have different points, different fees. They might even have other fees and different interest rates, different terms, all that stuff. And what you want to do is you want to compare apples to apples, figure out what each one charges, see if you're going to work well with them, and go with the right one that you feel is going to be best for your business. That's step number one. Step number two would be the valuation. Basically, the valuation of the property. Are you going to be making passive income every single month? Are you capturing equity? Are you basically buying it for lower than it's worth? Are you going to be able to do forced appreciation, make the value higher? They're going to help you check all this stuff. And so the valuation of the property is very, very crucial. And remember, like I told you, they're actually going to analyze a deal with you. They're going to say, this is a good deal or this is a bad deal. Either one, they're going to help you to understand that. And so as you're actually going through the entire process of valuation, they're going to be holding your hand, walking you through. It's just like an investor like me, making sure that this deal is right, because if the deal's not right for you, it's not right for them. The third thing that you actually need to do on top of that is getting contractor bids, because they're going to want to make sure that you could fix up the property to get rented. Or if you're going to flip it, they want to make sure that how much it's actually going to cost to make sure that it gets done. Make sure that you actually have the money that you're borrowing from them to actually get the project done. Last thing they want is a property. If they wanted to buy the property, they absolutely would. They don't want that. They want to lend their money. They want to make money from their money. So you're actually going to get bids. Now, I personally suggest, and I have a whole nother video, check in the description on how to actually utilize contractors, make sure they're doing the right job, all that sort of stuff. Check in the description below for that. Now, as you're actually going to contractors, the biggest thing to do is get multiple bids. Absolutely get multiple bids. If you're only getting one bid, you're really going to just lose a lot of money. Get multiple bids. Now, the fourth step that you need to do is actually get a project manager that's going to be overseeing the entire project, the construction, rehab, and all that sort of stuff. And they're going to be taking draws, or basically getting money from the hard money lender, taking draws to fix up the property, because that's a part of the whole process, is fixing up the property. So they're going to be taking draws, and if it costs $1,000 to do this, they're going to take a draw of $1,000 and then fix that certain thing. So they're going to be taking draws. So you want the project manager to actually be overseeing everything inside the construction, the rehab, everything about the property to get ready to rent. The last thing is to refinance and pull your money back out. Let's say you're going to sell it or keep it. If you're going to flip the property, then you just sell it and you pay the hard money lender back, which is, if you see all these fix and flip shows, TV shows on HGTV and all that, that's basically what they do. They get hard money lenders and they get in the property, they pay fees and pay points and all that sort of stuff, and then they refinance it if they need to, but more than likely they just sell the property. Sell the property, pay off the hard money lender, get into another property and make a profit in that. Now, if you're doing long-term, what you must do is refinance the property to get that cash out. Do a cash out refinance, pay off the hard money lender, so then you can free up that whole entire hard money. You're out of the hard money. You're now in a long-term fixed, like 30-year loan with the bank. Now, as I told you in the beginning of this video, that I wanted to share with you the pro coaching or the pro tips that I'm going to give you on if you're going to be doing this for a long-term rental property, what you should do to make sure you don't get stuck. Because the last thing you want is for the hard money lender to charge you extra money on top of it, take the property back and all that sort of stuff. So this is the main thing that you must be doing. Before you actually buy the property and you utilize the hard money, what you must do, 100% must do, is get a backup on that hard money. You want to get that backup. Now, that backup will actually be the reason for buying the property, because what you don't want is to get into a contract with a property and you don't have a backup for your hard money lender, because the hard money lender may just say, you know what, I don't want to lend on this property. For whatever reason, they might have lent their money to somebody else and they don't have enough money for you. So definitely have a backup so that you can go and finish out that property, buy the property. Now, here's the big key. Most people will never tell you this. I'm literally going to give you this huge pro tip. Just think of it as one-on-one coaching. I'm definitely going to do it for free for you. What you want to do, once you have that backup, you go through the process. Before you even sign on the dotted line with a hard money lender, before you're actually going to buy the property, what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 ways to get out of the hard money. Think about this. Before you even sign your name, before you even have that money in your pocket, you already have ways to get out. Now, the ways would be refinancing or selling or something like that. You already have these set in stone. See, I like to be proactive as opposed to reactive. I love being proactive in my business because I have more options. I make more money. When I'm reactive, I lose money because I don't know what's going to happen. And so I just take the best of what I can figure out. No, I want to know beforehand. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get 2 ways to get out of the money. Out of the hard money. What you're going to find is a bank. Go to all these different banks. Go to any mortgage broker and say, hey, I'm buying a property with hard money, and what I need to do is a cash out refinance. The biggest tip I can give you on top of everything I'm giving you now is to be completely transparent, completely honest with the mortgage broker and say, I'm literally buying hard money, whatever they need to know, like who it is, what are the points. If they need to know all that stuff, literally tell them everything, because what you don't want is to have that hard money and then hoping and believing that you're going to be able to refinance it out, but all of a sudden they can't because there's something that you didn't disclose, or not necessarily disclose, but like tell them. Now, what we want to do is have one way to get out. But here's another thing. I'm going to tell you even more of pro coaching. Have a backup to that first way. I want you to have two ways to get out. Could be like your grandma. Hey, grandma, I am buying this house, and in case it doesn't happen, I want to have this backup. My suggestion, have grandma ready, but then have two banks ready to refinance, pull that cash out so that you can pay off the hard money lender. That's a huge, huge deal. You do not want to end up with, and they're not going to have Jimmy the Wolf break your kneecaps, but what you're going to have is potentially having more fees. And worst case scenario, the actually hard money lender is going to take the property from you. You don't want that. So have two ways to get out of the hard money. Now, this is everything about hard money. There's so many things that you can do to invest in real estate. Get my free real estate investing course in the description below. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. I'll show you how to find properties, fund properties, how to make money, $250 a month in passive income. Make it an automatic business. I want to show you how to do that. Get it for free. masterpassiveincome.com/free course, or text the word rental to 33777. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video. I really want to keep continually giving you some great things on how you can invest in real estate. I want to change your life. Watch this video right here. I'll see you guys in the next one.